This is our senior White House correspondent, Mary Bruce, Chief Legal Analyst Dan Abrams. Mary, let me begin with you. This interrupts what had been a good run for the White House.
It had, and there's no question that this is now dominating everything here with this administration. They know that this is politically explosive for them, and they are being very careful and cautious in how they comment on this. They are not wanting to go beyond those very carefully worded statements from the president and his legal team. And of course, they are very quick to point out the real differences between how Biden handled these documents, immediately turning them over to authorities, and how President Trump acted, spending months resisting requests for the hundreds of classified documents stored at Mar-a-Lago. But there's no question this puts this White House in a really awkward position, having now dueling special counsels with the current and former president at the center of them, just as we know these two could very well be running against each other in the next presidential race, George.
And Dan, the key word the White House counsel is using, inadvertent.
Yeah, I mean, look, that is a defense, right? I mean, the reality is to charge just for possession of documents like this, typically you need someone who is hiding, stealing, selling.
Obstructing the investigation.
Yeah, well, that's separate. That's even a separate crime, right, is the potential of obstruction. But you typically need something more. Now, is there an argument to be made that you could be charged even if it was inadvertent? Sure, there's a potential argument. Very unlikely. And then, of course, remember that as we learned in the Trump administration, the current policy of the Department of Justice is that you cannot indict a sitting president. So, you know, you have to separate out the legal from the political.
And one of the political points here, Mary, is the White House knew about this a long time ago.
Yeah, and they don't really have a clear explanation right now, George, especially for why they didn't disclose that second batch of classified information sooner. They knew about this when they acknowledged that first batch earlier this week that was discovered at the president's private office here down the street. We have pressed the White House repeatedly on this. The press secretary was really hammered yesterday about this, and they just insist that there was an ongoing review. Of course, that review was ongoing when they acknowledged the first batch, and they insist they are doing this by the book. They want to avoid any sense that they may be trying to get ahead of this investigation or interfering with it. But it does raise some real questions. You know, while they may have been transparent with the Justice Department, are they being as transparent with the American people here?
And Dan, walk through what the special counsel is going to do right now.
So the special counsel is now going to hire a team of lawyers who are going to sift through exactly what they have. And the first question is going to be, all right, what do we need to know? What questions do we have? And this is why Mary's point is a good one, is about, are there going to be subpoenas now? Are they going to ask to speak to President Biden? And how much does what's happening with President Trump impact this? It shouldn't have any impact.
But Merrick Garland is overseeing both special counsels.
Yeah, I mean, for example, are they going to subpoena the Biden team? The Biden team will say, well, look, we're giving them everything that we have. You don't need to subpoena us. Do they subpoena them anyway, just to show that they are using the same legal tools that were used in the case of Donald Trump?
Dan Abrams, Mary Bruce, thanks very much.
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.